Chapter 23 of JOJOLands just came out, so we're just gonna recap what happened and give our thoughts.
Dolphin Banks Debt Collection Part 2. Excited to go into it. This is a solid chapter.
So this chapter opens up not where we initially left off, but
It's a flashback.
we get more details about the Howler family and their background. We learn that a fire in the first generation of the Howler family, it burned down the ranch that they had.
It was done by the Hawaiian Mafia.
And basically, to not go into bankruptcy, they had to sell all of their prized possessions.
That belonged in the box.
They put a lot of emphasis on them being in this box.
Yes, it's like works of art, stuff from like the Italian peninsula, things like that. And it's belonged to the family for like multiple, like 7 or 8 generations. And then some senator comes in and he's like all high and mighty saying like, oh, this belongs to the people. But this dude was just lying through his teeth. And we see the scene where like basically the dude's just driving the senator or this representative. And finally, Aka Howler's like ancestor comes up to him and shoots him and kills them both off.
Yeah, we jump forward. This is with Aka Howler's grandfather. He just drives by this guy's car and just shoots him in the face. And then the driver of the car is still alive. He just goes up, shoots him too, because this guy was trying to, take his water rights. And the representative actually worked for the mafia.
And now we skip over, we see Holler as a little child because he's the main villain, And basically his grandfather is like, come here, boy, let me tell you some things about this family. And he's like, hey, look in that box. We have these prized possessions and we sell them when when times are tough and they can come back. And we see in the box a lava rock and it's very brittle. But because it's placed in the box, things return. We've seen how the lava rocks worked before. And basically he got it from some like mountains of the god, somewhere around there. I don't really have any idea. And then it cuts forward to the present day.
So we go back on the boat. Charming Man obviously is disguised as the banker, and we have Jodio and Dragona with him. Howler invites him onto the boat along with Key West by his side, and they're kind of walking onto his just yacht. It's just huge, has everything. It even has a merry-go-round.
It has like workers, sailors around there, and basically Key West is like, hey Dragona, I like your skin. By the way, what school did you go to? Dragona's like, Harvard. And I was like, what the heck did Dragona just say? And Key West is like, oh yeah, really? Me too. Do you know this one professor? How's he doing? And then Dragona's like, what? And then, they're walking down to the basement and, Aka Howler, because he's going to be the main villain, he just pulls out a gun and starts negotiating with them. And he's like, hey, basically, long story short, I'm in debt, but if we give you guys like millions upon millions of dollars, would you guys be okay with backing off from me? I'm basically paying you off. I could send you this guys this money anywhere in the world. And basically, because their mission's greater and they know they have a lava rock, they're like, no, we're not going to accept this deal. Come on, be serious. And, Howler, he just gets like very angry. He pulls out the gun. He's like, hey, you better start doing what I'm saying.
So obviously, they're not going to take this deal because they're not actually with the bank at all. They suggest to Howler an equivalent exchange of land. They basically say, hey, the bank owns this land here, you own this land, let's just switch the land.
Before the government comes in.
Because the government's going to come in. But if you have this land, you can continue some of your operations and you won't be completely in the red. And they pull out this deed for him to sign, which of course he doesn't know, but they know. If he signs this, there is no exchange. They just get everything. But before he can even really consider it, he notices there's some crumbling stuff on the money. And we notice that the lava rock that Dragona has is basically reacting to the millions of dollars that are out on the table. And Howler, he recognizes this crumbling dust. He's seen it before. And the chapter ends with him basically asking who Dragona is and to stand up.
He's like, hey, it's the lava rock.
So this was another, I gotta say, very solid chapter from Araki. He's been on a run. The past few chapters
5 stars.
Very, very solid.
Really liked it. I feel like next chapter we're gonna see more about like the other team with like Paco and Usagi protecting their like principal. But you know, really liked Howler, seeing him with a gun. We get to see more of his character, seeing like more bizarre things like his ship having a freaking merry-go-round. So bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking definitely next chapter. Fights have to start, whether it's back at the school or on the boat or both at the same time. There's no way it can just be another chapter of build up like this. And I'm wondering if we see Howler stand in action this early too, because you know he brought out a gun and was threatening with a gun, which I guess makes sense because he thinks these are just average
Ordinary
people who don't have stands at all. So probably thinks the gun is appropriate, but probably also see Key West stand as well. And to be honest, I mean, I guess Jodio and Charming Man do have like the two strongest stands out of the group, so they can do something. I don't know what Dragona is going to do.
Part 9 stands are just so weak. Besides, I guess maybe the bubble ones kind of, I guess, strong.
What are Usagi and Paco going to do against the other two?
Like Usagi's going to all of a sudden say, hey, I want this. No, okay. Like, look, most stand users in this part are pretty weak, but then we like realized, oh wait, they actually might be getting more deadly. Like the cats, that was pretty deadly. Jodio's stand is pretty deadly. The bag Gru's pretty deadly, and then Charming Man's stand. But that's about it.
I don't know. I mean, I guess the two other agents at the school, like the one woman, she can just make like a map out of fear. So I guess she probably doesn't have like a combat stand, but the other guy just made, you know, Merume's arm is basically about to like explode. So
we will see, and we will find out.
I just don't know how that would even work.
But it is nice, like basically it's kind of subtly foreshadowed that hey, the lava rock is brittle, and our team, they didn't even know that. And you know, Rohan has the other lava rock that smashed. So who knows what Rohan's doing? We just know he's out there existing.
And I will say this now, I was a little skeptical before, but after seeing just more of his backstory, like he knows what the lava rock is. The Howard family has had a lava rock for generations. I'm just going to join in and say Howler is probably the real final villain.
Yeah. He knows about the mystical elements, and that's what they're going to fight over. You know, one part they're fighting over stand arrows, other they're fighting over the red stone of like Aja. Hey, this dude is probably the main villain. Araki learned from part 8.
Okay, so that was the video chapter recap review. Hope you enjoyed it. You know, give us your thoughts about the chapter in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and also be on the lookout for our next video coming out soon, talking about 2 years of JoJoLands.